Hey, how's it hanging, guys? It's me, Horsey, and today we are trying something new. We are trying to make a perfect, and I mean perfect, tier list of all the Pokemon starters. This is my opinion. You guys are entitled to your opinion. Just know that my opinion will be perfect, no matter what you guys put in the comments. Feel free to leave your opinion, but just know that they are wrong. So let's get right into it. Alright, so we found a tier list here on tiermaker.com. I specifically wanted to find one that had all the Pokemon, like all the middle stage and final stage, not just the first stage Pokemon. Because I think it's only fair to rank all the middle stage ones, because there are some good ones and some bad ones. More on the bad side, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, let's just start it off. This looks like it's some random order, somewhat. So let's start off with Sobble, Gen 8 water starter. We love to see it. Not my favorite of the water starters. I am quite biased towards water types. If you guys know, I am a big water type person. It's probably one of, if not my favorite type in Pokemon. So I'm quite biased towards water starters. Here, Sobble, though, I would have to say is a solid A tier. If there was a tier between B and A, I would put him there, like a B plus, A minus sort of tier. I would say once we get down to it, he's probably towards the bottom of A, I'll be honest with you. Alright, next we have Chestnut. This guy is very weird to me. I know people don't like him. I can see why. I don't mind him. I've never used him though. I'm gonna put him straight B because honestly, I don't know a lot about him. He looks okay, a bit derpy, but honestly, kind of funny. Delphox, sadly enough, I'm gonna have to put in C, only because of the fact that it's slightly too humanoid. I'll be honest with you. They try to go for a fox witch, like fire psychic type, which is kind of the only thing I like about it. A fire psychic type is pretty sick. But the fact that they went for a witch type Pokemon and they came out with this is, I don't know, it's a bit weird to me. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I do like the fire psychic typing though, it's pretty cool. Alright, next we have the man, the myth, the legend, Ivysaur himself. Ivysaur is strange. These middle stage ones are gonna be weird because I like Bulbasaur. I kind of like, you know what, Ivysaur will have to be B tier. I'm gonna put him in front of Chestnut. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a bit one of those edgy teenager sort of stages when it comes to the Bulbasaur line. But he's kind of cool. I like him. He's not bad. Charmeleon, I feel, is about the same to me. I'll let you know right now that Wartortle, I know I'm water biased, but Wartortle to me just doesn't bode well with me. I like Squirtle and Blastoise, but Wartortle just looks weird. So Wartortle's going in C tier right now. I'll let you know. He's not awful like D tier, but me personally, not my favorite type. But Charmeleon, going back to Charmeleon, once again, we're gonna put him between these two in B tier. I think Ivysaur is the best of the middle stage ones. But I don't know. Charmeleon, like he has that, you know, Charizard, like will be Charizard type face to him. He's definitely that grown-up version of Charmander, you can already tell. So yeah, Charmeleon's gonna be dead-ass middle of the road, middle of B tier. Could leave him, could take him, don't really care. Bulbasaur, honestly, I'm gonna put in A tier. I quite like Bulbasaur. I didn't realize how much I like Bulbasaur until like kind of recently. It's kind of cute. I usually, if I do not do a water type starter in any gen that isn't 2, and we'll get to that in a second, I usually will go grass starter. Maybe if I'm replaying through a series or something, or I just don't feel like water type, which almost never happens, I almost go grass type starter, and Bulbasaur is probably one of my favorite grass type starters. Alright, next we have Venusaur, big boy. I think Venusaur also gets too much critique for being just big and large and dumb, but I like him. I'm not gonna lie, I quite like him. I don't know if he's A tier like him though. I don't think he's A tier. I'm gonna put him in B tier. We're gonna have a bunch of B tiers, just so you know. Just because I can't. Some of them are so middle of the road that they're gonna go in B tier. I can't help it. So yeah, Venusaur is gonna be B tier. He's okay. I like him. Not bad as a final evolution for Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. Yeah, so that's gonna be Venusaur. And now we have Charmander. So Charmander is an interesting one because I will offend people with this. I'm not gonna lie, because Charmander seems to be people's favorite Pokemon, and especially with this one coming up as well. I honestly, Charmander as its own would probably be C tier if it wasn't for Charmander's whole story with Ash in the anime. If you don't know it, then you must be living under a rock. But Charmander is probably the most average to me personally. Now Charizard obviously is awesome. We're gonna get to that. But Charmander as a whole, just looking at him, is like it's just a lizard with a fire tail. It's cute enough, but like it doesn't propel him to anything above a B, to be honest. And like I said, it would be C if it wasn't for the anime and its whole story with Ash. So I'm going to Charmander and B. Okay, the main man, Charizard. You would think, oh, straight up death, Charizard's so cool. He's so cool. It's a flying dragon lizard. No, he's not S. I will put him in A. Bottom of A though. Bottom of A. He is pretty cool. I'm not gonna put him in S because he is too overhyped, and I'm one of those people that is just not unhappy, but I'm just annoyed at how much attention that this Pokemon gets. It's too much attention in my opinion. And he's cool. He's definitely cool. Pretty badass. But he's his Charizard. Like he's overhyped, I'm gonna say. And I'm not falling for those Pokemon Company tricks. Those Charizard, here's more Charizards and more Charizards. As long as we keep feeding you Charizards, keep buying our stuff. I'm not one of those people. Water type all the way. Alright, Squirtle and Blastoise. I'm gonna rank these pretty much at the same time. Squirtle is tough. I'm gonna put Squirtle A tier. Blastoise also A tier. Because I like them both. Squirtle's slightly higher because it's cute. This is how it's gonna work for most of them, you'll see. But Squirtle's cute, Blastoise is badass, that's how it happens. I didn't, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of Squirtle as like a water type starter and water type like person myself until like I was looking at them and like just all the starters, just the first evolution starters, and was like, you know what, Squirtle is cute as hell. And it honestly, it is kind of tough to choose between the Gen 1 starters because they're all pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But Squirtle is cute. I would choose probably Squirtle every time. It's just unfortunate with what happened with Wartortle, but we overlook mistakes. People make mistakes. Next we have Gen 2. We have here's where everything looks like it goes in order for the most part until the end here. We have the Chikorita and pretty much its entire line. Now, people don't like Chikorita. I've quickly learned that people don't like Chikorita. I've come to respect Chikorita because now this is going to get controversial, and because some people know this already, but here we have all of Gen 2. Water type starters, right? The whole Totodile line. You think, oh, he picks water type starter like every other time. Now here's where you're wrong. Gen 2 I'm actually going to rank Totodile now. Totodile, the only thing I like about it is it's shiny. I don't think Totodile itself is pretty cute. It's these two that I have a problem with. The fact that they try to go for an alligator / crocodile, they kind of nail it too on the head, but then also make him too derpy. Like, why is Frogadier so wide all the time? I don't know why he does that. So for that alone, I'm gonna put Totodile C tier. I'm gonna put Croconaw C tier, just because it's kind of cool. I kind of like Croconaw in a way. Frogadier is gonna be our first D tier. I know, this is strange. Look at our C and D tier. There's 5 Pokemon and 4 of them are water types. This is so weird. Just wait. So that's where I think about the Totodile line. You guys can roast me, but like I said at the beginning of the video, you are wrong. My opinion is 100% correct. It's not correct, but it's 100% correct, according to me and me only. So that's where we lie on there. But here, going back to Chikorita, I like Chikorita's line. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Meganium could have been better. Just could have, but I don't mind Meganium. Chikorita is cute enough. It's kind of just a small little thing with a leaf, but I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put him B tier. Bayleaf is pretty cool. I'm gonna put Bayleaf at the bottom of A tier. I quite like Bayleaf a lot, actually. And shout out to Cabbage in our Nuzlocke. If you know, you know. If you don't know, we're currently doing a randomized Nuzlocke where one of our Pokemon is Cabbage, and it's a Bayleaf because we hatched a Chikorita from an egg. So go check out our Nuzlocke series where you can see Cabbage in action. Meganium is going to go probably right beside Chikorita. It would have been higher if it... like I said, Meganium could have been better. And if it was slightly better, it would be... probably an A tier, to be honest, but it's not. So yeah, that's the Chikorita line. I didn't like it for the longest time, but I've honestly come to respect it. Cyndaquil line. I love the Cyndaquil line. I'll be honest with you. Typhlosion, we all know 3D remakes, it looks horrible. I still like Typhlosion even after the 3D remakes. So having said that, we are going to put Cyndaquil S tier. Our first S tier. I know. We're going to put Quilava S tier. I don't know what it is about Quilava. It being like a pretty, like... I know I've said this before, but edgy sort of version of Cyndaquil, who is very cute, by the way. Cyndaquil is very cute. And Quilava being able to, like, stand on his 2 feet, or hind legs, like here, but also, like, you see him a lot of the time. 4 leg... I don't know, it's pretty cool. Typhlosion, we're going to put top of B tier. Again, it kind of just takes Quilava and makes him just angry and adult sized, and like we all know, the 3D models look horrible with Typhlosion. I know, but I still like Typhlosion. I'm gonna put him at top of B tier. And yeah, the Cyndaquil line is always my go-to usually when it comes to Gen 2 starter picks, closely followed up by Chikorita, and you cannot pay me enough money for Totodile, but yeah. Gen 3, we have Trico, the whole Trico line. Again, I will probably offend some people, maybe not. Trico as a Trico is cute enough, but I don't mind it. It's, once again, it's going in that B tier, like bang middle tier. I don't really care about it that much. It's cute, its shiny's good, but yeah, it's just meh for me, honestly. Grovyle is going slightly higher just because it's pretty cool. It's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. And Sceptile is going top of C tier because if it followed this, which it kind of did, but then it grew a tree as its tail, it would probably be higher, but it doesn't. And then it's shiny. If you haven't seen it before, it's sky blue, and it doesn't follow the same pattern as the other two for some ungodly reason. So if it followed that, I would have liked it more, but it's gonna go C tier for me, honestly. Torchic. I don't know where to put Torchic as its own, because Combustion is kind of derpy, I'm not gonna lie. Not the biggest fan of Combustion. I'm gonna put him like C tier. Just because it's got that middle evolution, like not badass but also not cute, but like that weird middle line that just doesn't work out for most middle stages. Blaziken's quite cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of Blaziken. Put a bottom of A tier. I maybe could have put him in B tier. Maybe we'll switch that around. It does have that firefighting typing that we all have loved to see over the years, many times. But Torchic's cute enough. I know why people don't like it. I can understand why people don't like it. I'm gonna put him towards the bottom of B tier here. Just because it doesn't have much going for it other than the fact that it's a tiny little fire chicken. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Torchic. Alright, and here we have Mudkip. Mudkip is going straight to the top of S tier. Nobody can complain. It is quite perfect when it comes to a starter, and a water starter at that. Objectively, it's probably the best, and if I think about it hard enough, when it comes to some of the other water starters, it's probably the best, but I've got some others to put in S tier for other reasons, and you'll see why in a sec. But Mudkip is the quintessential cute plus, like, the concept of the Pokemon works. Like, put those two things together and it produces Mudkip, and it's one of the perfect starters, honestly, in my opinion. Now, we have a problem though. Marshtomp is probably the worst when it comes to that middle stage kind of derp factor. I'm really upset when I see Marshtomp and see that came from a cute, awesome, perfect Mudkip. Having said that, it's still not going to be D tier with Frogadier. It's going to be bottom of C though. It's going to be pretty down there. The middle stages, Syndrome really hit Mudkip very hard. You have something way up here and now something kind of way down there that is way more of a disappointment, and it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurts. So yeah, Marshtomp, not the greatest. Still got a good shiny though. And Swampert though, we cranked this back up to like top of A. This is not perfect, but it's very good. Water ground, I don't know why. It's a very good typing competitively, just casually. I know there's a bunch of water ground types out there now. But the fact that it's a starter, and it looks pretty badass. We don't talk about its Mega though, Mega Swampert. But Swampert is pretty awesome. All right, Gen 4, my favorite gen all around. Gen 4 has some pretty good starters, especially when it comes to the final evolutions. Turtwig. Having said that though, Turtwig is going to go somewhere in the top middle-ish of B. It's just, it's there. Its shiny's good and stuff like that, but like, it's just there, you know. And Grottle honestly is going to be like bottom of B because it, again, middle stage. It's okay as a middle stage, I'm not going to lie. It's better than others, obviously. But it's got problems. It's just got big bushes and it's just kind of weird looking. Torterra, on the other hand, grass ground type, and it just having a big old freaking tree, and it's just like, it's just a massive mon. It's actually going to the bottom of A. Maybe it would be top of B, but yeah, no, it's gonna go bottom of A. It's just, I don't know, it's so cool. And if you saw it in the Detective Pikachu movie as well, where it literally there's like 3 of them, and they are like the size of like an entire like Amazon rainforest, and it's pretty cool. I don't know why I liked it. I've never actually used a Torterra in a playthrough. I picked a Turtwig when I played Platinum, when I had it as a kid. Then I lost my cartridge before I even got my Turtwig to a Torterra. So technically I've never used a Torterra in a playthrough, but I would love to it someday. Alright, next we have Chimchar. I think my brother's favorite starter. Chimchar is pretty cute. It's just the epitome of a fire monkey that we've seen before now, but Chimchar was pretty much the first of a fire monkey type Pokemon. Chimchar though is gonna go like here because, you know what, no, actually it's gonna go a bit higher only because in the show, in the Diamond and Pearl like Gen 4 era of the show, which I not binged, but I watched a lot of as a kid, Chimchar like actually kind of grows as a character even though it's a Pokemon. If you know what I mean. If you've seen it, then you know what I'm talking about. But like Chimchar in the show with Ash and Paul and all of them, it's kind of nuts and kind of sad, to be honest. But it's pretty cute though. We love to see it. Monferno is honestly going to go right beside it. To me, they're almost the same thing. Not really. I think Monferno gains the fighting type. I don't remember. No, I actually don't think it does. But honestly, it's kind of just right there. I don't know. It's not that derpy as a middle stage, which is good, but it's also not like badass enough to be higher. It's kind of stuck in limbo there in the middle, so I'm gonna put it right beside Chimchar. Now Infernape is gonna go right here, near the top of B, right beside Typhlosion, because firefighting, I mean, we love to see it, but I also hate to see it. But I don't know, it works on Infernape. It is like the cool, the fire monkey that we all want to see, not those Gen 5 freaking element monkeys that everybody hates. But it works with Infernape being firefighting, and it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool, and it's shiny. It's shiny's something. It's something, but it's not bad. It's good. Now Piplup will have to be, just for the nostalgia strings in my heart, has to go S tier. Again, these are the two that I can never pick between, either nostalgia or like probably objectively actually better. But Piplup was my first pretty much ever Pokemon ever picked, now that I think about it, because Diamond was my first game that I played, and Piplup obviously being my first starter, which is kind of crazy to think now in 2021, thinking that happened in probably 2007, 2008. Yeah, that's whack to see. It still lives up though. It still lives up to its cuteness. It's cute as hell. It's probably one of the cutest. It's just a penguin, but it works. Now Prinplup, once again, I don't know what it is with the water starters that I love, and just starters in general that I love, but it gets hit hard once again with the middle stage problems we've been seeing. Prinplup is gonna go somewhere here towards top of C, just because I still don't mind it, but it is very derpy, like quite derpy. I'm not gonna lie. Also, if I remember correctly, its cry sounds very dumb and quite annoying, and I had to listen to it over and over again every single battle for a little while there. But it does suffer very hard from that middle stage problem that I don't really like. But it's better than others. Now Empoleon will have to go up here towards the bottom of S. Empoleon, being a water steel type, is so cool as a starter, and I mean quite broken, I'm not gonna lie. Also quite broken, water steel type. And it's just like, some people don't like it because of its like head and whatever. I kind of like it. I quite like it actually. It works as an emperor penguin, I believe it's supposed to be, with having its massive like blade claw things. It's pretty cool. Its cry is pretty good. Its shiny it's not bad. Could have been better in my opinion, but it's not bad. I'll take it. And yeah, so Empoleon is pretty cool. Snivy. Now Gen 5 also, I'm not gonna lie, had some really good starters. Minus some, but Snivy, I think for me personally, has to go probably bottom of A. I quite like Snivy. It's pretty cute. I don't fully understand what it's supposed to be, other than maybe some sort of snake, but it's kind of cool as a grass type starter. I've never used, no, I cannot remember if I've used a Snivy during a Gen 5 game. I think I got the hidden ability event one that happened a long time ago, so I had a superior with Contrary, which was ridiculous, by the way. So I quite liked it. Cervine honestly is not that bad, probably one of the better ones. I'm gonna put him top B. It's one of the better middle stage evolutions, actually, according to the second best behind Quilava. It is pretty good. It's pretty sleek and cool, because it's just a slightly bigger Snivy, and Snivy's already good. But it's not quite just the badassness of a fully evolved Pokemon, but it's also not got that derp factor that we all know a bunch of Pokemon have, i.e. these two, and this one. But it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite middle stage evolution starters. And Superior will probably have to join Snivy here, right towards the bottom of A. Serperior is... I never realized what kind of detail Serperior's body actually has, like, as the design goes. I don't really know how Snivy and Cervine evolve into Serperior, all of a sudden just not having any legs. But we look past that point. And if you've seen really any of these shinies, but if you've seen shiny Serperior, then you have seen greatness. It is not my top whatever, but it is very good. I quite like shiny Serperior. It's pretty nice. And yeah, it's gonna go A tier with Snivy there. It's one of the better grass type starters as a whole line, I'd say. All right, next we have Tepig. Now, Tepig is interesting. We're gonna get this out of the way right now and say Pignite is unfortunately gonna have to be, we might have to serve Pignite a D tier. I'm sorry. It suffers quite hard from that middle stage problem that I've talked about 100 times now. It's a big problem. We have to eradicate it. So it's gonna join Frogadier in D tier. It's unfortunate that it has Tepig that evolves into it, a pretty cute pig, into that, and then that has to evolve into something that's kind of cool, kind of whatever, Emboar, and that's just stuck in the middle. So it's quite unfortunate for Pignite. Speaking of Emboar, we're gonna get to Tepig in a second. Emboar is it's okay. It is just like, could leave it like a vegetable. Okay. Its shiny is like a 9.8 out of 10. I don't know how Emboar gets that good of a shiny, as everyone has probably talked about. It's a really good shiny. It's unfortunate that Emboar gets a shiny like that, and let's say Empoleon gets like something that's very mediocre. But yeah, Emboar is just there. It's not firefighting, which is good, but also it's just there, you know. It's just a big angry pig, and that's just kind of what I think about it. Actually, after doing some research, I completely forgot that Emboar is firefighting, and literally strictly because of that, it's going to go down to C tier. I didn't realize that the firefighting plague struck 3 times in a row. I always think that Emboar is fire dark for some reason. It always strikes me as a dark type. Maybe I don't know why, but it always does. I could see it more of a dark type than fighting type. I don't know how. Fire dark would be pretty cool. But the fact that it's a firefighting type for the 3rd generation in a row is the only reason why I'm going to boot it down to a C tier. And just on top of all the things I already said about it just being just there. It's just there. Now Tepig is just a small fire pig. We understand that. But it is quite a cute fire pig. Its cry is very cute as well. It definitely resembles a pig if you didn't already notice. So it's gonna go kind of here in the middle of B. It's not amazing, but it's also it doesn't harm anyone. It's not trying to harm anyone. Wouldn't ever harm anyone. So it's gonna go there in B tier. And now the water type starter. Even now I'm on the fence about Oshawa and its whole line as a water starter in Gen 5. Because Oshawa is cute. I wish it was better because it represents an otter, and otter is one of my favorite animals of all time. So it is cute enough. I just wish it looked a bit different, I'll be honest, because when I first started playing this, Gen 5, I'd never thought of this as a otter, I'll be honest. Maybe with Dewott, but never Oshawott. I could never think of an otter when I look at Oshawott. But it is cute enough. And it is water type, you know, water gang. So we are going to put Oshawott. Unfortunately, it does not get A tier. It'll probably be here with the B tier. It's just, I wish it was better. It's okay, but I wish it was better, and it definitely could have been better. Having said that, Dewott is probably one of the better. I know I said Quilava and then Cervine. I think Dewott is actually the second one here. It's gonna go in A tier. It's got that more the factor of it being a badass than cute, because it's cool looking, and it's got the 2 shells on its like 2 legs than just the one that Oshawott had, which I think is a cool touch. And this definitely resembles more of an otter than Oshawott ever did, which I quite like as well. That gets more points from me. So yeah, Dewot's gonna go in A tier. It's probably, that one's probably the second best middle evolution starter in my opinion. Now here is where I also get quite confused with this Oshawa line. Samurott. What's up with it? Why is it on 4 legs? Why does it have swords in its little leg pockets here? How does it go from becoming an otter to a samurai otter? I've never fully understood it. I'll be honest with you. It's a bit of a disappointment to me. I'm not gonna lie, as a water type lover. And this being this final evolution when I played Gen 5 for the first time. So that we're putting it towards the bottom of B just because of the sheer disappointment and how cool it could have been if it went from Dewott to something way better. With Dewott already being good, like Oshawtt's cute, Dewott's like pretty badass for middle evolution, and then Samurott could have been like #1 ever, but it's just not, unfortunately. So we're gonna put it bottom of B tier. So Chespin, right? Where did we put Chestnut? Oh, B tier. Okay, Chespin is pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. It once again, it doesn't harm anyone. It's just there. I don't understand what it's supposed to be, really. Having said that, I don't know what this whole line is supposed to be, now that I think about it. But Chespin, honestly, is quite cute. And having said that, I know what you will think about where I rank all these 3. But honestly, now that I think about it, the shinies are very good about all of Gen 6. And the Chespin line included. So Chespin is going to go probably here in B tier. It's pretty cute. Wait, where am I putting some of these others? Actually, I'm gonna move it down a bit, and we're gonna move Chikorita up because I like Chespin, but I like Chikorita more, and so I have to have Chikorita higher. But it is pretty good. It's cute. Its shiny is very good. I can understand why people like it and potentially pick it as their starter in Gen 6. But once again, here we go. Again, one of the worst offenders when it comes to middle evolution derpiness. This thing, Quilladin. I don't even like its name. I don't like its name at all. Now, like, it's cool. It's one of like the few Pokemon that has Q as its name, but it's just a grass type Pignite. I'm gonna put them side by side because that's where they belong, side by side in D tier. They look very similar. They're just a big round fire and grass type balls that have spikes and or ears coming out of their head. And I do not understand where Quilladin comes from as an evolution from Chespin. I don't understand it whatsoever. So yeah, Quilladin, not a fan at all. If you like Quilladin, then you are probably one of the tens of people who like it. So honestly, respect to you. Now we have Fennekin. Fennekin is A tier just for the fact that it's a fox Pokemon that we've only had a couple times. Actually, only once with Vulpix and Ninetales. But now that it's a starter, and still fire type, but now that it's a starter, it is very cute. Its shiny is very good. If you've seen it, it's basically just purple, and it works with Fennekin. And once again, I don't praise it that much. I've never picked it. I've never used it myself, only because I know that Delphox is what comes. Delphox is a problem, but I've never picked it, but I quite like Fennekin. I very much understand why people pick Fennekin. It is very cute. And then we have Braixen, one of the actually kind of decent middle evolution starters. It's not as good as Cervine, I'd say, personally, but it is right around here in middle B tier. It's decent. It's not bad. It's not fantastic, but it's not offensive. Like, okay, it's now standing on 2 legs, kind of weird, but it's not as bad as what Delphox is. So Braixen's honestly not that bad. And now Froakie, water type starter. We love Froakie. Froakie's amazing. Very cute, very awesome. It's gonna go to A tier. It's gonna go around here, top of. Do I like Sobble more? I do like Sobble more. Sobble's gonna. Okay, so we have a problem. Squirtle, Sobble, Froakie. I think I like Froakie the most. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have that. So Froakie's the best of those 3, honestly, in my opinion. It's pretty cute. I didn't realize how much I like it until, honestly, not too long ago. Like, I liked it, but I didn't realize how much I liked it. It's it's probably the better, with some of the one of the better water starters of all the generations, definitely. It being like a kind of a quiet sort of ninja baby frog, it's a pretty cool concept for a water starter, definitely. And having said that, Froakie in A tier, we're gonna put Frogadier. One of my favorite names to say as a, like, for any Pokemon. It's one of my, I don't know why. It just rolls off the tongue, and it just, when you look at a Frogadier and you hear that name, it's funny because of how well it works. We're gonna put Frogadier in A tier as well, slightly behind it though. 'Cause it is middle stage, it is kind of but it's pretty good. You can't say anything wrong about Frogadier. Both their shinies are pretty good as well. I mean, they're not as perfection as Greninja we're about to get to, but they are very good. Speaking of Greninja, Greninja is going S tier. It's just very good. It's like, you know you're getting a Frog Ninja when you pick Froakie, so then when you get Frogadier, you're like, okay, wow, this is pretty good as well. Then you get to Greninja, and then your hopes and dreams of you originally picking the Froakie and hoping it would be a Frog Ninja just comes to life and is in the form of a Greninja. Not to mention it has one of the probably top 5 shinies of all time. It's not as good as Empoleon, just because Empoleon has that water steel type that I quite like, and it's nostalgic for me. But it is S tier 100%. It's just really good. Ash Greninja we don't really talk about, but it did have a big part in the show, which makes sense. But in the games, Ash Greninja, don't know why it came, but it's still pretty good. All right, Gen 7 and some stragglers. So we have a Rowlet. I quite like Rowlet as a grass. I quite like Rowlet. It's one of my favorite grass type starters. It's probably gonna have to go bottom of A with Fennekin. It's just, in the show, it makes it. If you haven't seen the show, it makes Rowlet, like, if you like Rowlet but you haven't seen the show, watch the show just with a few episodes that have Rowlet in it. You'll like Rowlet 10 times more. It's just cute. It's just a ball of grass type owl starter, and it's just nothing could go wrong with it. Not to mention its shiny is very good as well. You can literally not go wrong with Rowlet. I can definitely see why people pick it. It's hella cute. But once again, if you have a very cute starter that people really like, it gets hit hard with middle evolution syndrome. It's not as bad as these two, but it is going down here in C tier. It is such a weird design. I don't know why they went for that. Clearly, they're going for owl, obviously, with Rowlet, and they're going to end with some sort of owl with the final stage, but I don't know how they get to Dartrix in the middle. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how that happened. Someone let that one slide. But then we do eventually get to Decidua, and Decidua is probably going to go right beside Rowlet in the A tier. It's just Grass Ghost is such a cool type, let alone for a starter. It's a very cool starter type. Its signature move is Ghost type move, and you just get to use Ghost type attacks as you're a starter, and it's very cool. It's very badass. I am a big fan of it being like a Robin Hood sort of bow and arrow type thing as well. It's very good. Its shiny's very good as well. Very, very good. So yeah, honestly, other than Dartrix, Rowlet line is actually pretty good, and I didn't realize it. Now we have Litten. Now, I'm going to say this straight off the bat. I am one of those people who is not a fan of Incineroar. I'm just not. People can be, and they have their own opinion. Go ahead, be a fan of Incineroar. People need to be a fan of Incineroar. I am just very much not one of those fans. It is going to go here, bottom of C. Litten and Torracat, we're going to get to it. I'm going to rank them, but such potential to have a great fire type starter. It being fire, this one's fire dark. I got confused. This one's the fire dark type. It could have been so much better, and it just wasn't. Having said that, Torracat, again, one of the better middle evolution starters. Torracat's going to go probably, honestly, it's probably going to go above Cervine just by one spot in the B tier. Big fan of Torracat. It's just a big fire cat. You can't go wrong with it. It's basically just Litten, the cute version, but then it actually turns not so edgy, but pretty cool at the same time. Now, going back to Litten, it's a cat. I'm a cat person. I love cats. It's going to go beside it here in B tier. Even just looking at these pictures, they're very similar. One's cute, one's cute, one's cool, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm a quite a big fan of those two, but its final stage is just I don't know why they did that. Went for a freaking sumo wrestler or something. I don't know. Grappler. I don't get it. Really don't get it. Now Popplio, it's a water type, so it's gonna be ranked kind of high, probably. Definitely. So it's actually gonna go here, towards the bottom of A. I've always been sort of on the fence about it. I've come to my senses and say that I like it. It is very cute. It's supposed to be a sea lion, like a circus sort of sea lion, and I very much understand that now because of its other two evolutions that we're about to get to. But I'm quite a fan of Popplio. Now, where I'm even more on the fence, and I still don't know where to rank this, Brionne. Brionne is very weird. It's kind of got that, it's not quite derpy, it's just confusing, if that makes sense. Popplio is pretty cute. It's a small little sea lion. Evolves into a bigger sea lion, but it's this, and I don't understand what to do with it. Like, I'm not mad at it, but it could have been better, in my opinion. So it's probably gonna go like here in B, like just for the fact that I just don't know what to do with it otherwise. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good, but it could have been good, but also could have been bad. Like, I'm so confused with Brionne. As a water type lover, I'm disappointed, but also I'm fine with it putting it bang average. I don't really care. Primarina is probably gonna go probably here, top of B. Maybe it could have been A. I don't, maybe not. It's got a decent enough shiny. Like, the other two don't have good shinies really at all, but Primarina actually has a decent recognizable shiny that I kind of like. Its moves, its like signature move it gets, it's pretty cool. A bit of a long animation if you know what I'm talking about, but it's not bad. For it to all come around in a circle to finish with that as like a sea lion sort of thing, and it being like a singing Pokemon as well, like I quite liked it. I was satisfied with it when I first saw it. Now Grookey and Scorbunny, obviously Galar starters. I just realized, did we get other Galar starters? After inspection, I learned that it's just Sobble, Scorbunny, and Grookey, but not their evolutions. I'll let you know where I rank them after, but Grookey is probably another. Honestly, both these are pretty good. I'm gonna put Grookey. They're gonna both go high B, just because I like them. I like Grookey. I like Grookey slightly more, just because of it's basically just a monkey with a stick that hits stuff, and that's just cute enough on its own. Scorbunny, with it being a soccer player and Scorbunny in an England region, it's kind of too on the nose, I'll be honest, which is why I'm like, come on Pokemon, what are you doing? Even with all of its evolutions, I don't understand why they try to hit that nail so hard on the head. I would probably put Inteleon probably mid B, just because I wish it was better. It's okay, but it's also kind of confusing. Drizzile would probably be the same sort of area. Like, it's kind of cool, but very edgy, and I don't understand why. Reboot would probably go, again, mid B. I just don't know where to put them. Like, Reboot is honestly kind of forgettable, I'll be honest with you. Like, I always forget that thing exists as its middle evolution. And then Cinderace, I know people really like it. I would honestly put it top of C, only because, like I said, they nailed that concept too hard, and it's kind of just annoying at that point. When you pick Scorbunny and then evolves into Reboot, and you're like, okay, yeah, I see where this is going, and then they hit you with Cinderace and its signature move, and it's just like, it's too in your face and on the head about, yes, okay, it's a soccer player, we understand it. But yeah, that is my tier list. This is the official ranked tier list for everybody's opinions to be compared to. This is a perfect tier list, like I said, according to me and me alone. So feel free to roast me or not roast me in the comments. And I wish to do some other sort of video like this, whether it be tier list maker or some sort of other thing where it includes my opinion, where I probably get roasted in the comments. That'd be fun as well. Something like that. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Like I said, I had fun making this. It was a bit of a long recording. But I'm happy to do it again with some sort of other topic, Pokemon or not Pokemon related. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you all, appreciate you all. Peace out.